why holding winning trades is so difficult. Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video. So why is it that difficult? Surely you get into a trade, you hold it, it gets to your target, you have to hold on for a while, you just leave it alone, walk around for a few weeks, and then it gets your target. The reason that holding on to winning trades is so difficult is that there's two things. One is they come with a lower win rate. So if you're holding on to trades, by definition, the longer you're trying to hold on to a trade, the bigger the target that you're going to have, then by definition you're going to have a lower win rate. So that makes it a bit more difficult for many traders accepting a lower win rate. The other one, which I think is a fascinating one, and I've got an example for you here, is when you're in a nice running trade that's running really nicely, and then it rolls all the way back over, and you've seen a really nice open profit come all the way back down. Now that's what I've just experienced here, and that's why I'm talking about this here today. I've been previously in the euro dollar, and from around here had a lovely run. It got to within about 80 pips of my target up here. I was up over 80,000 across my accounts in profit, open profit, to see that all come all the way back down. And so now the interesting thing is, from a psychology perspective, is that people always think there must be something to fix. So if something like that happens, they're in a nice open profit and they think, right, well, I must fix something. I'm never going to let this happen again. So the easy fix is to trail the stop up more aggressively. So, well, trail the stop up more aggressively, lock that profit in. Well, yes, and actually in this example here, it's quite clean in many regards that it has made higher lows, going all the way through this. But there are plenty of times when a market will go up and dip back down, not make a higher low, make a in the sequence, come back down, just take that low out, so to speak, before then going higher again. So it's not always that straightforward either. So, but in this example, yes, trailing the stop all the way up aggressively would have meant that I would have got out somewhere up here in its entirety, and locked in a reasonable amount of that game, and then move on. However, I like to give my trades a lot more room to breathe, to allow for that inevitable larger retracement that's going to come. A bit like back here. There's always going to be that larger retracement that comes at some point before then it takes off again. So you can do that and you can trail your stops up, but what will happen a lot of the time is that you will never get to those targets right up there, because by default, the tighter the stop you have, then the more often you'll get trailing stopped. And nothing wrong with getting trailing stopped, but that's not the subject of this video here today. We're talking about holding on to those winning trades. And if you trail your stops too aggressively, then you're very, very rarely going to get to hold on to those winning trades, because you will just end up getting trailing stopped out before you actually get to your target if you're using targets. So of course what someone's going to do is say, right, I'm never going to let that happen to me again. I was up a certain amount of money, and this is the thing, like, I can look at this and say, yeah, it would have been lovely to have banked the profit up there, or of course if it had got to its highs, but I know there's actually nothing to fix. It's just part and parcel of trading. And so one thing, my main thoughts for you today is that don't always think there's something to fix within your trading. It's like you see it with people when they've got a strategy. If they're trading a strategy mechanically and then it goes through a bit of a drawdown phase or whatever, they feel like they've got to fix something, and it might not actually be needing anything to fix. And it's the same with this sort of thing here. And this is why this puts people off. This is why fewer people trade this way of holding on to winners, and I add into winners along the way as well. So I add in as prices going up, and that a lot of people find that difficult emotionally, because they don't like it when price or when if price rolls over and it doesn't get to the target, and they've seen those open profits. But I'll see it and say, well, my analysis overall was pretty good. No, it didn't quite get to the target. Would have been nice to have had the profit, of course, but you shake that down and you move on to the next trade. And if you trust in your processes, then some of those trades will get to your target, and they will more than give you more than the profits that you need. But if you allow the market to shake you off and to say, oh, I've got to fix something, I've got to change something, or I'm never going to do that again because I didn't like that, then the market has won. So there you go. That's my food for thought today on why holding on to winning trades is difficult. It's because of those times where, one, you're going to have a lower win rate naturally, but part of that is because you're going to get into profitable positions and price will then just fizzle out, won't quite get to your targets, roll back over. And I appreciate that's very difficult for many traders out there, but I would rather be on the road less traveled in trading, and rather than what the masses are doing. So anyway, food for thought there for Saturday. By all means, answers on a postcard or comments, whatever, as usual. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you next week.